Hi guys, and welcome to this week's QR Code series episode. So we had a request a long time ago that I've just not got round to doing for us to play and feature a team based all around Toxapex. So today I thought it was a great opportunity for us to actually find a team and play a team revolving kind of a little bit around the Toxapex team. So here we go. You can see on your screen in front of you a kind player from Spain with the username Ova has provided us with a QR code team that involves and includes the Toxapex. As always guys, I will leave the link for this QR code in the description below. Big shout outs to Ova for providing the team for everyone to kind of go on and play, and the team made up, if I can even speak properly, so the composition of this team, it's made up of Marowak, Alolan Marowak, Celesteela, Tapu Koko, Toxapex, Tapu Lele and Garchomp. So we've got the quite a standard Marowak with the thick club to boost the attack, lightning rod to support the Celesteela, and the Toxapex as well. We've got Celesteela, which is again very standard, but with substitute, not flamethrower in this situation. So again, a bit more of a throwback to the early start of the format there. We've got Tapu Koko with a focus sash, Discharge to take advantage next to that Marowak and the Garchomp, Thunderbolt and Dazzling Gleam. And I have a feeling that the Discharge might come in quite handy today, so we'll see how we get on with that. We've got that Toxapex, which has that amazing regenerator ability, so when you switch out you get a third of your health back. I think it's around a third, and Black Sludge, which is just like a toxic version of leftovers. So you can have the leftovers on the Celesteela and you can have the Black Sludge as a form of similar recovery on the Toxapex. Toxapex is running Toxic, Recover, Scald and that Baneful Bunker as well, just to pick up Toxic on opponents that hit into it with physical type attacks when you get that Baneful Bunker up, so it acts like a protect. We've got Tapu Lele there with the Psychium Z, which is holding our Z move. Psychic, Thunderbolt, Protect and Moonblast. Do need to be careful when we have the Marowak out in the field. If we want to use that Thunderbolt, we just need to be mindful of that. And then we round off the team with the Garchomp, which is not running Protect, interestingly enough, with Ironhead, Firefang, Dragon Claw and Earthquake running the Groundium Z. So I have already got the team loaded up and we will just jump onto the battle spot and see how we get on with it. So as you can imagine guys, Toxapex isn't a very popular Pokemon, especially within the VGC 2017 format. So finding a team based around it was pretty difficult, and this is the majority of teams that I could kind of come across were teams in the Battle Spot doubles format, and we try and keep the QR code series to the relevant format that we're in, so VGC 17, and that was kind of the basis to start with. We will transition out of VG 17 as soon as the season does end, but or as soon as the format rules change, I should say, because we don't know when the rules are going to change into VGC 18. Obviously the new season starts around September time, but we don't know whether we're going to get a rule change. It'll probably be to kind of coincide with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon when they do come out, and we'll probably get a format change with those games when they come out. So just going to look for an opponent. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to find. In other news, we did a little revamp of our team analyzer, episode analyzer thing at the end of the School Hard Knocks today. So again guys, it would be great to hear your feedback on that and how you thought it went today. But enough on the School of Hard Knocks, because we have our first opponent of the day, and they are running a team of Garchomp, Whimsicott, Tapu Koko, Tapu Fini, Kartana and Porygon 2. So we have the Whimsicott is going to be a bit of a problem because of that prankster ability. I can throw out fake tears and things like that, so we just need to be mindful of that. Obviously the Psychic terrain is going to be very handy, but then we've got the Kartana to contest with, which is going to be a bit of an issue as well, because the Kartana puts a lot of pressure onto the Tapu Lele. We don't have access to Flamethrower and Celesteela, so it's not as good a counter to it as it would be with the Flamethrower. So what we're going to do here, we don't have really too much in the form of speed control on the team. I feel like Marowak will be good here for the Kartana, the Whimsicott and that Tapu Koko, just kind of pulling in those electric type attacks. It also is very good against Porygon 2, so we definitely want the Marowak. It's just, what do we lead here? I think I'll lead Tapu Koko, and we will lead, do I want both my Tapus? I guess probably. Tapu Koko, let's go Garchomp. Let's bring the Toxapex, and we're going to leave Tapu Lele at home and bring Marowak. Hopefully that isn't a terrible decision, but I feel like I have to bring the Toxapex to every game. We're playing a team for that reason, so I'm going to bring it to every game that we play. Be it wrong or be it right, I think we can get around playing it, so we should be alright. I think, I'm confident. Gonna be good. So we see my opponent lead off with the Whimsicott and the Garchomp, and we will lead off with Tapu Koko and our own Garchomp. So what can we do here? First we need to check what speed we're running on Garchomp, so I just quickly do that. Let's have a quick look. Right, we are max speed and max attack, so 252, 252. So hopefully we should be outspeeding the opposing Garchomp. Let's have a look at my opponent's team composition. Would they be running a slow Garchomp, or would they be running a Scarf Garchomp? That's the question. What I'm going to do is just protect Tapu Koko here, and I'm just going to go for a Tectonic Rage into the Garchomp. We do have to be a bit wary about maybe the Finny switching in, and then the Nature Power from that Whimsicott. But again, if we can just get rid of the Garchomp here, it's going to be massive for us. Opposing Garchomp protects, and we're going to see a Tailwind probably from the Whimsicott. So then next turn, Tapu Koko is seriously threatened. We are going to get a little bit of damage off, but we're completely wasting our Z move here, which is not ideal. So this next turn is going to get a bit tricky. And we don't really have anything in the back that we want to switch in on an Earthquake either. But we do have the Focus Sash with Tapu Koko. The other option is that we just get Encored into Protect by the Whimsicott, which wouldn't be ideal, but I'm just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam, and I'm going to go for a Dragon Claw into the Garchomp and try and preserve a bit of this match if I can. So there's a Moonblast. Garchomp should take this, but probably not an Earthquake as well. Not ideal. Okay, we had really no option there to protect with our Garchomp, because we're not running it. We do get the Sash activated on the Tapu Koko though. So let's see if we can get this Dazzling Gleam off. Let's see how much damage it does. It's alright, it's not enough. It's not quite enough though. Let's bring in Toxapex. We've still got to be quite cautious about the Tectonic Rage from that opposing Garchomp. We don't know what it is holding. I'm just going to protect Tapu Koko here, and do I bane for Bunker, or do I just Scald the Garchomp? I think I just Scald the Garchomp, right? Yeah, let's go for it. We've got to hope that it hasn't got Tech Rage. If it's got Tech Rage, then it's game over, lights out for us in this very early stage of the game. There's Endeavour. Oh, okay. This is why I hit. Oh, so Rock Slide. We might actually survive this. May do. I don't know. We do. Can we get the Scald off? We do. Okay. I hate Whimsicott. The Garchomp actually survives, but we get the burn, so we are going to get rid of it, but it's not much consolation at the moment for us, really. Get a little bit of Black Sludge recovery. Whimsicott's so good, and it's such a pain. Like the Endeavour there, because I'm assuming that it's sashed as well, so get it down to the sash, it just Endeavours everything, and let something like Garchomp or Tapu Koko just kind of clean up. So we see the Tapu Koko come in here. What I'll do is switch in Marowak, and I'm going to just go for a Baneful Bunker on our Toxapex, just to protect ourselves here. Get some recovery back. And the nice thing about Marowak here is it does kind of shut down the Whimsicott from being able to kind of fire off those endeavours. Not affected by it because it's a ghost type attack. We will protect in the Toxapex as well from those electric type attacks that could be kind of coming out from the Coco. And we just see Dazzling Gleam, but Coco should be able to take this quite comfortably. Yeah. Okay. We will see a Moonblast as well into the Toxapex, but we are going to restore a little bit of health. I want to say we should be able to take a Dazzling Gleam here. Now I'm just going to go for a Shadow Bone into the Whimsicott, and I'm going to go for a Toxic into the Tapu Koko. I should have really went for a Recover, to be honest. There's the Dazzling Gleam. We do take it. We're going to take a Moonblast, so we're going to see a Tailwind. Moonblast. Do we take this as well? Nah. Crit. Okay. So at least we didn't see a Tailwind come out. And it'll kind of come down to my opponent's last Pokemon here. So, see the Electric Terrain disappear. My opponent's Tapu Koko is kind of forced to just lock itself into Dazzling Gleam. But we're in a bit of a sticky situation here. We could go for Discharge, but I don't feel like it's going to be enough to take down the Tapu Fini. Especially with the Electric Terrain not up. Now, I think we go for a Shadow Bone. We've got to try and get a bit of damage onto the Fini here. So we go for a Shadow Bone, protect that Coco. Hopefully, we don't see a Muddy Water and a Dazzling Gleam, because that will be enough to take down the Marowak here. We haven't got really too much hope if both hit. So we're kind of banking on a Muddy Water miss here. We do see the Dazzling Gleam come out. It's going to do a bit of chip damage to this Marowak. And what are we going to see? We're going to see a Scald. So yeah, my opponent not risking. And that's going to be it. That is going to be it, unfortunately. Sometimes you just don't have the right tools for the job. We'll go for a Discharge, try and get a last ditch attack off. We do go first, win the speed tie, which I presume is a speed tie, but yeah, damage is nowhere near enough, and my opponent's just going to be able to dazzle us to the ground. So, not a brilliant start, but we definitely shouldn't have tech rage turn 1. That was definitely just the wrong play all around. We should have predicted the Tailwind play and possibly just Iron Head. You know, we could have doubled into the Whimsicott there to get rid of it. I think we just need to think a bit more before we actually press any buttons. I think that's been a problem for a little while now. Just not thinking properly. So let's go into our next game. Hopefully we can redeem ourselves here. But the main lesson is make sure you think about your turns before you click anything in. It's always too late. You can't go back. It's not like Showdown where you can click in and go back or anything like that. Once you're locked in, you're locked in. So we have our next opponent, Lorenzo, and he's running a team of Gyarados, Arcanine, Tapu Koko, Celesteela, Shinotic, I think. Is that how you pronounce it? I'm not too sure. It's the Fairy Grass type Mushroom, equivalent of this format's Amoonguss and Mudsdale. So my opponent doesn't really appear to have any speed control, which is good for us because we've got none either. Arcanine could have Bulldoze, but what have we got? We've got Gyarados. What's the speed like on Tapu Lele? That's something that's going to be quite important here. Are we running? I need to see speeds. There we go, 140. So I don't think we're going to be outrunning the Gyarados, but I do want to bring it here. It's going to be quite good. think Celesteela is probably going to be quite good here as well. Tapu Koko again, will probably not be too bad. Yeah, we're going to need Tapu Koko, Celesteela and Marowak. Let's go with those 4. Let's leave Garchomp at home. And why I say it's quite important about the Tapu Lele speed is because if it was max speed or near enough max speed or max speed modest, it's not quite max speed modest, but it's just to get the jump on things like that Gyarados. If it's jolly max speed Gyarados, it's going to be outspeeding us. So hopefully we see either one of the Intimidators lead. If we do, we'll get a good idea to see if Tapu Lele actually outspeeds anything. So there's the electric terrain from Tapu Koko and the psychic terrain. So we do outspeed the Gyarados. So we can nuke the Gyarados turn 1 if we want to. Because what I might do is switch out the Tapu Koko into the Marowak and just go for that Shattered Psyche into the Gyarados. Just to get rid of it. And make sure we get rid of it. So I'm going to do that. I'm kind of going to prevent the Tapu Koko from Volt switching out of there as well. Which would be quite nice. And once we get rid of the Gyarados, Marowak's got a way easier time to kind of operate in this match, so let's see if it works out. So there's our Tapu Koko switch. Marowak hitting the field. And we'll see what this... so Gyarados is switching out. Okay, Mudsdale coming in. I don't mind nuking the Mudsdale either. Something else that does cause Marowak a few issues. So we just see the Tapu Koko protect here, and I think even an Assault Vest Mudsdale probably will go down to the Shattered Psyche. If not, it'll be very close. But even if it doesn't go down, we're not in a terrible position next turn because we're still putting a lot of pressure on to the Tapu Koko, and we still outspeed the Mudsdale, so we can pick up the KO on that quite easily or force my opponent to switch. But we don't even need to contend with that idea because the Mudsdale goes down to that huge Shattered Psyche. And we'll see what my opponent brings back in. Maybe that Gyarados. And it is. So what I might do here is switch out Marowak and go for its Thunderbolt into the Gyarados, which should pick up the KO, and yeah, bring in Celesteela because we're not going to see the Tapu Koko go for electric type attack. No way in front of a Marowak do you fire off the Thunderbolt or anything. And hopefully that Gyarados thinks, well, I can probably survive a Psychic now. We know it's not Life Orb. So let's try and get a Dragon Dance off. So this is why I'm trying to catch it out. So you do see the Dazzling Gleam come out from the Koko. And there's the T-Bolt. And we pick up the KO there on the Gyarados. Don't think the crit mattered at all. And my opponent down to his last 2 Pokemon. So we've just got the Tapu Koko, which Marowak deals with quite nicely. And we'll see what my opponent's last Pokemon is. And it is a Celesteela. Okay. So Tapu Lele is quite threatened here. We could just go for a Psychic onto the Tapu Koko though. Try and get the KO there. And set up a substitute with our Celesteela. Hopefully we outspeed the opposing Celesteela. We don't see an electric type attack come out from it. Just with the threat of Marowak, I'm kind of calling my opponent not to go for the T-Bolt because the Marowak switching here for myself is so obvious, so it's kind of, I don't know whether it's worth my opponent going for it at this point, because if he does and I switch it in, it's such a wasted turn, so you would think my opponent's kind of forcing maybe a Protect here. And just going for the... But we do see the Thunderbolt. Alright, okay. Ballsy. But I don't think it matters too much anyway here. We do get the Psychic off. We do reveal the Focus Sash on that Tapu Koko. We are at speed in the opposing Celesteela, and we do get the substitute up, but we are going to lose Tapu Lele here. And give the Celesteela a Beast Boost. So where's it getting the Beast Boost? Special Defense, which Marowak doesn't really mind at all. So we will bring the Marowak in here. And we should be able to finish this game off pretty cleanly with a Heavy Slam into the Koko and just a Flare Blitz into that Celesteela, which should be enough to pick up the KO onto it. So that is what we're going to do. And this should be game. Should be. It kind of makes up for that first game. But we didn't bring the Toxapex here, did we? So my opponent going for a T-Ball. Would have been better going for a Dazzling Gleam. I don't think it's even worth thinking that I would switch the Marowak out here. There's like no chance I'm going to switch the Marowak out, so I don't see. You may as well try and get some damage off, even though it's kind of a really bad position for you to be in. We do see a Heavy Slam come up from the opposing Celesteela into Marowak, trying to pick up some damage. But the Flare Blitz here should pick up the KO. And there we go. Yeah, we didn't bring the Toxapex here, which was a bit of a shame. So we'll have one more game. Good game to my opponent here. We'll have one more game, and we will try and bring that Toxapex and try and see if we can get it to function. I can't believe the damage that it did on that Garchomp in game 1. The Skull did like next to nothing. I know it's base, special attack and attack on, brilliant, but you would think it would do a bit more damage. Let's see. Okay. Right. So we'll have one more game. One more game. And we're back to break even with our Battle Spot score. 1500, right on the button. So hopefully it doesn't take too long to find an opponent, and we can get straight into the match. But yeah, I don't know about Toxapex. It's like it's a cool Pokemon, but I just think it struggles within this metagame. I think its typing's not ideal. Water Poison, it's kind of hard to function in a metagame that's full of electric type attacks. The water typing's nice in it, but again you've got a lot of big presence with Garchomp, Mudsdale, even things like Snorlax really threaten it with high horsepower, so it's a difficult Pokemon to use. But I don't think it's unusable at all. I think it's got very good defenses. It's got potential to be used. So we'll see how we get on with it, because we'll bring it to this game, won't we? We've got our next opponent, Brockman, and they are running a team of Pheromosa, Gyarados, Comfey, Alolan Marowak, Goodra, and Snorlax. So we could maybe get use out of Toxapex here. Probably quite a lot of use out of Toxapex here. So what I'm going to do is lead it. We've got no threat of electric type attacks on my opponent's team, apart from that Goodra could be carrying Thunderbolt, so we do need to be a little bit careful of that, but we'll lead it. And what we're going to lead with it, let's lead Lele, because we do want Lele here. I will bring my own Marowak. Do I want to bring Marowak actually, or do I want to bring Celesteela? A type of Koko for the Gyarados, maybe. Because a discharge would be nice. I think I might lead Tapu Koko. We've timed out. This is the worst. Like, what have we brought to this game? Okay. Gets better and better as we go on. So I have no idea what we brought. I think we've definitely got the Toxapex because we locked in with that. But what obscure lead are we going to lead with? This kind of rounds off this whole episode, I feel like. So we lead Toxapex and Marowak, which, to be honest, isn't the worst lead in the world. We do need to be careful of the high horsepower from that Snorlax. Does the Pheromosa really cause too many issues to Toxapex? I don't think so. So let's go for the Toxic onto the Snorlax. And you've got to think the Pheromosa switches out here and a high horsepower comes in. So we'll switch in Celesteela. At least we've got Tapu Koko. That helps a little bit with everything. So, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Speed swap Pheromosa into that Snorlax. Switching those speeds around. We do get the poison onto the Snorlax, which is nice. So we get that. We are going to see a belly drum now, which is pretty terrible. Huh. We need to stall down this counter. So, what are we going to do here? We're definitely going to see the Pheromosa switch. You've got to imagine it switches here. Now we could go for a substitute with our Celesteela. This is not great. Let's go for a Baneful Bunker, and let's go for a Leech Seed onto the Snorlax with our Celesteela. Hopefully we see high horsepower come out into the Toxapex here. But it's just a return into the Celesteela. Okay. We do take that though, which is fine. Get the Leech Seed off. Snorlax avoids. Oh, this is terrible. And a high jump kick. This is like terrible, terrible, terrible. So we lose the Celesteela. Pheromosa actually gets a Beast Boost. Does Tapu Koko have the Focus Sash? Yeah, it does. So we can bring that in. My opponent's really going to have to double into the Koko here. Snorlax is definitely going to go for the high horsepower into Toxapex, right? It has to. I mean, one option we could do is switch in Marowak and go for a discharge, just to get damage on everything. So we'll do that. We'll switch in Marowak for Toxapex, and we'll go for a discharge. The discharge should pick up the KO on Pheromosa, you would hope so, in the electric terrain. There's the return. Okay, so the Snorlax might not have high horsepower, which would be pretty strange if it doesn't. So we get the discharge off. Do not take down the Pheromosa though. But as long as you don't get poisoned. No, that wasn't us. That wasn't us. I heard the poison from the Snorlax and I was like, oh no, that's the worst. I think we just double protect here, don't we? Do we double protect? Or do we attack with Marowak? Let's attack with Marowak actually and just protect protect Tapu Koko. So let's go for a Flare Blitz and protect Koko. Because you would think that the Snorlax may attack into the Koko slot, or it might go for a Recycle here. So we might get away with picking up a little KO onto the Snorlax. Maybe. I just gotta laugh at this game, how it's went so far. Snorlax actually protects, which is strange because the toxic counter now is gonna probably put it in KO range, if not pick up the KO. Flare Blitz into the Snorlax, Ice Beam into the Koko, and let's see, does this toxic actually pick up the KO onto the Snorlax? No, but the next one does. So, quite free here just to go for the protect on Marowak and switch in Toxapex into the Tapu Koko, preserve Tapu Koko for later in the game. I'm probably going to see a return come out into that Tapu Koko slot, you've got to imagine. But it's looking more and more like the Snorlax doesn't have any option to hit the Marowak with. And to be honest, we might have been better just sacking the Tapu Koko here, but then again, we don't know what my opponent's got on the back. So, Pheromosa actually withdraws. Gyarados coming onto the field. So yeah, good job that we did keep that Tapu Koko. Although the problem is the Pheromosa now has reset its speed, so when it comes back in, it will outspeed the Tapu Koko. Do protect the Marowak. And there's a return, so it is going to pick up the KO onto this Toxapex. Oh my god. We actually survived. What? How did we survive that? On 1 HP, the invisible sash, which is the most crazy thing. This match gets crazier and crazier as we go on. Okay. So the Snorlax is gone. We'll probably see the Pheromosa come back in now. Gyarados is putting on a ton of pressure on. Oh, it's a Comfy. Okay. So, what do we do? We can't protect Marowak because we literally just protected it, which wasn't the best idea in the world. Could try and get a recover off with Toxapex, I guess. That's probably the best thing to do at this point. And just go for a Flare Blitz into the Comfy, try and get as much damage onto it as possible. And let's go for a recover with Toxapex, see if we can get that off. So there's Draining Kiss, is into the Marowak. Bit of chip damage, crit, and here is the Hydro Vortex from the Gyarados, and that'll be into the Marowak slot. But this should mean that we are going to get a recover off with Toxapex, which is pretty nice. Unless this is into Toxapex. Wow, it's into Toxapex. Alright. Okay. I don't... Okay, that's fine. I mean, Marowak gets a free turn here. And then we've got the free switch into Tapu Koko. We can discharge. Okay, so Comfy does reveal a Citrus Berry. But is a discharge enough to take down the Comfy? I'm not really sure if it is. Because the Gyarados has to protect here, right? Has to protect. You've got to think it has to protect. Let's go for a Shadow Ball into the Comfy and protect Tapu Koko here. Kind of predicting the protect on the Gyarados. So we're going to protect Koko. No protect from the Gyarados. Just goes for a Waterfall straight up. What? Oh. Why would you leave it there just to take... I guess the Draining Case is a priority, so it's going to pick up the KO on Tapu Koko regardless. Okay, so that makes more sense. So, regardless of what we did there, we weren't going to be picking up the KO onto Gyarados. Comfy able to go before everything with that ability. Yeah. So, good game to my opponent. Terrible match from myself. Terrible show for Toxapex, but at least we featured it on the series. Next week we're going to have a very interesting team. Do keep the suggestions coming for this series. We're running a little bit low. I've got a few ideas going, but this was kind of a filler this week. Just a little bit of fun to play that Toxapex. I don't think it's going to be breaking any metagames anytime soon, unfortunately. Like I say, it's got potential to be used. It's got very good defenses. It's got an alright move pool. Its typing's not bad. I just think it struggles in this format this year, which is a bit unfortunate. And yeah, we had that hiccup with Team Preview in that last match, so at least we won one of them. That's the main thing. But we're going to wrap things up there, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. As much as the games have probably been pretty terrible, I hope you found it fun and enjoyable to watch. It's been a pleasure having you here with me as always. If you've liked the video, please leave a like on it. It is massively appreciated. If you're new to the channel, hello. Do subscribe, because we do have generally a lot better content than today. As comical as today has been, we have a serious series in the School of Hard Knocks. We have Basketball Double Series. We've got the MBL as well. So do stay tuned for all of that. We'll be back tomorrow with our Basketball Double Series. That'll be the last couple of games that we'll play with that Tapakoko Mega Kangaskhan team before we do the live streams over the weekend and do those battle team building videos. So I'm really looking forward to those, and I hope a lot of you guys can be around at the weekend to kind of get involved with the team building. So we've got a brand new team to take into next week and really start showcasing on the channel and looking at how we kind of develop a team as we go through the practice stages and things like that. So do stay tuned for all the information later in the week about when we'll be doing those live streams over the weekend. As I say, it's going to be a lot of fun. But as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It'll be great to hear your comments about this episode, especially the team, and what your thoughts on Toxapex are. Do let me know. I've got some strong feelings towards it right now, but as I say, I think it's got potential. I just think it's just not a Pokemon fit for this format, unfortunately. I could be proved wrong. We could see someone run it at Worlds and do really well with it, but I very much doubt it, to be honest, quite frankly. But we'll wrap things up there, guys. Thanks as always for tuning in. I will see you all tomorrow for that Battle Spot Doubles episode. Whatever you do, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will see you then. So until then, guys, bye bye.